Welcome to day 7 of the 30 Days Soul Reboot series. It's your friend here, Dr. Mpali Nkana Jacent Mori. Today's session is borrowed from Willie Skinner's book, The 30-Day Mental Diet. And the topic today is Learn to Avoid Stress and Anxiety. Now, if you haven't gone through the other day's sessions, please do, because by going through them, you'll be ready to perceive and digest this content, because the information and the sessions I've shared in the other days have been leading to this particular session. Now, let's get into the session. Today's living seems to be filled with stress, anxiety, and pressure. Everybody, in one way or another, apparently suffers from being alive in our present civilization. Although the causes of such conditions may exist in the world about you, you alone determine how you're going to react to them. You have the privilege of allowing conditions around you to become the cause of problems within you or to rise above them. It has been ascertained that the mental reactions you have to conditions about you are responsible for specific bodily reactions. So the longer a sustained advanced mental reaction is maintained, the more severe will become the body's reaction, and eventually you can find yourself with a serious health problem. That's why it's written over and pounded in our minds by our teachers and gurus that thoughts become things. In other words, your sustained negative mental attitudes can add and do become tangible as disease. Medical chronicles are filled with illustrations of the way the process occurs. The body has no choice but to correspond in nature and function to the quality of your thoughts and emotions. So your thoughts and emotions are not separate from your body's biology. Now, no one is exempt. If there is one thing you cannot do, is to divorce your body from the body of your thought. Simple illustrations of the way the heart beats faster as a result of a sense of fear, the way the stomach becomes upset with feelings of hate, and the manner in which the intestines behave with emotional extremes all point out the unity of your being. They are obvious occurrences, but there are many others which you are not even aware of, and all too often extreme damage could be done before you realize the detrimental nature of the negative mental sprees you may indulge in. But this doesn't mean that you should stop living. You cannot avoid the various problems that arise in the course of daily living. They are part and parcel of life and are to be squarely faced and adequately met. But in the process, you must always be alert to dealing with the situation objectively and not literally swallowing the problem and letting it create havoc within you. You have to learn to keep things to their proper places. If you let an external problem develop into an internal problem of an ulcer, you have gained nothing. But now you have 2 problems instead of 1. The answer is not a matter of avoiding life, but of dealing with it in a healthy manner. Now let's discuss the place of your problems. The problems you encounter in your daily experience are external to you. Leave them there. You can deal with them much better if they are out where you can see them. Properly appraise them and determine an adequate course of action. However, once you bring them into yourself, you find your mind becomes a turmoil, your emotion erratic, and your body begins to malfunction. When you realize that your mind and an individualization of the one mind can transcend any negative experience you might encounter, then you have a starting point for properly dealing with whatever problem you have. You approach it with a constructive tools of thought which can correct it. So keep your problems where they belong, outside you. And life is interesting. What makes life interesting is the challenges that you encounter. A state of continual bliss would be intolerable. You have your ups and downs, your joys and heartaches. Variety is necessary for an interest in living. But it is the negative extremes you need to avoid, and practically those that you maintain for a long period of time. Life is to be enjoyed, but you will never have a chance to enjoy it if you let yourself wallow in a bog of stress, anxiety, and pressure. These reactions are vital and necessary so that you may do and be the best that you are, but you cannot allow them to run wild. Now you have to work with yourself. There are many pills and potions on the market today for minimizing or relieving extreme reactions to the stresses and strains of living. And in some instances, they have worked wonders, but they mostly seem to be of little value in correcting the external problem or the individual's basic ability to properly meet them. The ability to live a normal, healthy life without the adverse influences of destructive emotional reactions rests in what you can do about the way you think. To properly face a problem situation, you must face yourself first. If you can come to accept that mind in its infinite wisdom knows what to do about the situation in which you're involved, that you are rightly guided and directed in what you do and stay relative to it, and also that its individualization as your mind permits of no destructive reaction, then you can relax with a calm mental assurance and an emotional stability that will permit you to live as you should live. This all means that trust a higher power, trust divine intelligence within you to lead and take care of yourself, of your life. Don't interrupt. Adapt the state of effortless living, allowing things to be, and then being in order to take actions appropriately without joining the problems, without becoming part of the problem, but staying apart from it, observing it, and then finding the resources you need within you to resolve it. Now let's go to the mental stimulants, the scientific stimulants. But whether he puts his faith in God or in creation, man realizes that his ultimate aim must outlast the moment. This should lead us through a meaningful, happy, active, and long life, steering us clear of the unpleasant and unnecessary stresses of fights, frustrations, and insecurities. That's by Hans Seele. And this is what philosophy says about it. Faith is the basis of our present world, and lack of faith the source of our discords. And that's by Ralph Taylor Flewelling. And religion, the Bible said, whatsoever is born of God overcometh the world, and this is the victory that overcometh the world, even our faith. And that is in 1 John 5. Now let's go into today's affirmation. I'll read it slowly, just listen or simply repeat after me. I face life with calm assurance, a feeling of strength and security that enables me to discover a newfound joy. Gone are the damaging stresses, anxieties, and pleasures I formerly expressed. For I know that the life that is at the corner of my being knows nothing of these things, and it now guides and directs me in all that I do. Mental turmoil, emotional imbalance, and physical disturbances cease to be part of my experience. For I know them to be no part of God, whose life I now accept as my life. I handle all things that need to be taken care of in an enthusiastic manner that is creative and good. All that is to be done in my daily life, I do with ease and joy. With confidence, I know that God, to whom all things are known, makes known to me the proper thing to do at the proper time. I do not avoid living, but enter into living more enthusiastically. For I know that the more I express life, the more it expresses itself in wholeness and completeness in me. I start to live anew, new in mind, new in feeling, and new in body. In God, there is only good. There are no opposites, irritations, stresses, or strains. I now accept God as the source of my life and experience only harmony in my daily living. And that is the end of today's session. Please listen to the last part of this session and then apply this idea to those aspects of your thoughts and actions. You may maybe want to write down a list of your thoughts, the most negative thoughts that you think about every day, and so that you can become conscious of what you think about all the time. You can think about what you think about. And once you become aware of your most prominent thoughts, then you can write down a new set of thoughts that you choose to think about. It's like shifting from worry and fear to faith and trust in your Creator. All right, guys, until day 8, thank you for joining the 30 Days Soul Reboot series, and I'll see you on day 8 of the series. I'm sending you abundant love from my heart to yours. If you have any questions, please leave them in the description. If you haven't subscribed, it would be nice if you do. Share this video and stay shining.